Meta has launched new parental controls for Instagram. What are they exactly, and are they enough to keep kids safe online? Here's tech expert Carmi Levy, who joins us now with all the details. Carmi, good morning to you. And first off, maybe just a quick overview. What are these new parental controls that were announced yesterday?
So they'll give parents greater visibility into how their kids are using the service. They're not going to allow mom and dad to stand over a child's shoulder and actually see what they're doing. So they can't see their messages, they can't see their inbox, things like that. But they can see statistics on how much time they're spending using Facebook or Facebook Messenger. They can see who their children are interacting with, so their contact lists, and also if there's anyone on that contact list who isn't on their friend's contact list, so they can see maybe that person's a stranger. We should be aware of them. They can also take a look at their kids' privacy settings and maybe make some recommendations and have a conversation about whether they should be tightened up or not. And it also has additional timing tools. So every 20 minutes or so, it'll pop up a little reminder saying, now might be a good time to take a break. The child can, of course, just bypass that and keep on using it. So, it adds to, mom and dad's visibility into it, but it's not a showstopper. And the thing that parents need to know about is that they are opt-in. In other words, we didn't just wake up this morning and they were magically activated. Parents and children have to go into the settings to actually turn them on, which from where I sit, that's the big kicker, because as we know, most people aren't going to go into their settings to even do this in the first place.
And that's what I was going to add. We were talking about that at the top of the show, that opt-in feature. There's a lot of kids that will opt out of taking part in that feature. So I guess, Carmi, is this what we need? Is this where we're headed, or is there something else that we could be looking at?
Yeah, any parent who thinks that some new tool from a platform is going to magically improve the way they can interact with their kids using social media is sadly deluded. That's not how it works. Meta is not going to solve this problem for us. We're going to have to solve it for ourselves as parents. No tool is good enough. There is no magic bullet or solution. It all comes down to open, honest, consistent dialogue between parents and kids. And I say this as a parent myself and a technologist, as we've been shepherding our own kids kind of through this valley. It has always been about open conversation, talking about how they're using it, asking them to feel comfortable enough coming to us if they see something that's kind of iffy. Helicoptering in and assuming that you can directly control the solution or directly control the app or the service, it just doesn't work. And interestingly, the only solution really is the non-techie one.
That's a good point, because that's part of the debate here, right, is whether or not we should be relying on social media to govern themselves to keep our kids safe. All right, the federal government, Carmi, recently passed Bill C-18 that requires social media giants to now pay for news. How is this going to make our feeds look different moving forward?
Well, Meta, of course, which owns Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and others, they are not very happy about it. They've essentially said, if this becomes law, so it became law, but it'll take about 6 months for it to be enacted, for the rules to be put into place for the day-to-day management of it. So if that happens after 6 months, they are saying that they are out, that they will no longer provide news content in your feed. So what it'll look like for us, if they make good on this threat, is we wake up in the morning, we open up Facebook, we start looking through our feed, and we're not going to see articles from newspapers, reports from television, audio from radio, magazine articles, anything like that. We will have to go to the website of the individual media organization or the app of the media organization to read it. It's not going to automatically pop up in Facebook or Instagram like it does now.
Okay. Also want to ask you about a new tech scam alert. Jeff was mentioning it earlier in the show regarding smartwatches in the mail. What do TMS viewers need to know about this?
The U.S. military is warning about this because many of their members have been getting them. Who doesn't want a free smartwatch? The problem is, as soon as you turn it on, it connects to your Wi-Fi network. And of course, once it's on your network, it sees all your other devices. It sees the services that you subscribe to. It tracks your activity because it's a smartwatch. It's got all those sensors on it. And it's sending all that data to, well, we're really not quite sure. Probably a cyber scammer, probably a cyber criminal. So what you need to know is there is no such thing as a free lunch. They are using this as a way of getting behind your defenses, collecting all sorts of information on you, and then using that information against you for subsequent cyber attacks, identity theft attacks, financial attacks. You use your smartwatch to pay and buy things. That information they can also grab from that phone, from that smartwatch that they gave you. So if you get something for free in the mail, don't even turn it on. Return it to sender immediately. The moment you turn it on, you have now been targeted.
All right. With that, can you hold that for me?
That wasn't
no.
Yeah, hang on. Let me check my watch here.
Carmi, much appreciated as always. Good to see you this morning.
Thanks, guys.